when I spit bars in a rave. Man, I go hard like Santan.
And I guess with that, firstly, Stevie, you can confirm that Arsenal have lost.
I can confirm.
That's lovely. Let's talk about it. Let's actually speak on Arsenal because Arteta came in after Lundberg, who came in after Emery. There's a lot of talk, you know. The latest Touchy Gooners, if you guys haven't listened to it, really great. We had Dan Cougs. And we had German Dan going back and forth in terms of the reasons why Ozil isn't in the team. Dan Cougs is of the opinion that Ozil isn't in the team because he just, in terms of playing, isn't good enough anymore to start, isn't able to offer Arteta what he wants. German Dan, starting in the amount of Harvey Specter-like, honestly, with the amount of evidence he was able to put on the table, he made me a believer, and basically he was of the opinion that it's more sinister forces at play here. And it kind of started from when Ozil spoke up about the Muslims being killed in China, and then him not taking the wage cut, and little things that have happened since then. And that's the main reason why he's not playing. Arsenal signed Thomas Partey, great signing. They signed Willian. Okay. Did they sign anybody else? Am I missing anyone else? Oh, Gabriel. Saliba can't get a game. Supposed to be like the best young defender in France, but yeah, exactly. The Mbappe of defenders, whatever. So where they stand now, it seems like they're solid defensively. Arteta's come from working with Pep, so people immediately assume what you're getting is a Pep regen, but the way they set up, very uninspiring, very, very dull to watching. Listen, I've had Jose Mourinho, I've had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I've had David Moyes, I've had Louis van Gaal. So I know dull football when I see dull football. And I tell you, I watched their game on Thursday.
I'm so bored.
That team should have had a couple of goals before half time, and obviously they had to bring on Aubameyang. Guy can't even get a rest. Guy can't get a break. They had to bring on Aubameyang to win games in the Europa League, and they've lost again today against Leicester. How long before they start, the panic signals start? Like when do they start worrying? They're not even getting shots off. They're moving like Martial.
Yeah, Arsenal fans are starry-eyed about Arteta. But, I mean, to be fair to him, what he has done, and to your point, he's come in and he's organised the defence. And I think the hallmark of a good side is a good defence and an organised one. I think where they didn't have Partey, now they have someone who can break lines, who can cover the defensive position.
Evidently didn't break lines today. But go on.
I can't comment on it. That's my countryman, so I can't shade him too much. Although, yeah, the coverage of that signing was a disgrace, man. I had Daneo making a tune that was an absolute
What
joke.
about the one where they went back to his village? Party after party, and then some of the aunties and uncles didn't have the decorum to not look at the camera. Party after party. No, just look at the TV and don't make it obvious that you know that we're recording. Come on, auntie.
You can't celebrate like this for a defensive mid. It's moving mad, fam.
Slide tackles and midfield battles in the middle third, you know. It's scary. So yeah. Speak on it, Stevie. So yeah, they've got Partey in.
Yeah, so now they've got Partey. I think hopefully you should see them creating more chances. But I think that's probably where German Dan might have wanted Ozil to come back into the squad. Because I think they're really struggling for chance creation. They were in for and they didn't quite get that deal done. So I think going forward, they just look very, very bland. So I don't expect to see much for them this season, but at least they've sort of tightened at the back end. I don't think they'll get concerned about what Arteta's doing. I think he's just...
What do you mean?
No, because they had Emery and years of disgrace under Wenger.
Isn't it supposed to be like, this is their guy who's going to take them forward, you know?
That's what I would say. So I think with Arteta, I think there's going to be quite a long grace period with him, with the majority of Arsenal fans, because echoing what Stevie said, we're used to seeing Arsenal getting spanked left, right, and centre in terms of especially the big games, but he's really solidified them in that sense. Gabriel looks really good. Shout at him. But where I'm a bit with him about is that I look at the team selection sometimes, as in the actual personnel. And
let's actually talk about today's team selection. So it's a 3-4-3. David Luiz, Gabriel and Xhaka at the back. Double pivot of Partey and Ceballos. Kieran Tierney left wing back. Bellerin right wing back.
Apparently
4-3-3. You're questioning soccer way.
Now, to be fair, I saw someone tweet it was a 4-3-3 as well. So
Wait, this is the second pod that
Alright,
soccer way.
what's happening?
It's soccer
What's
way.
happening, bro? You
It's
looking
okay.
shaky.
That's fine. Listen, man, I've had more embarrassing moments on this pod. That's not enough. That's not enough to bring me down. I'm still here. So let's do it again. Let's say 4-3-3. So I'm gonna have to make this formation up based on what I'm seeing here. So Bellerin right back. I'm thinking Luiz and Gabriel centre backs, and then Tierney left back, and then a midfield of Xhaka, Ceballos, and Partey. And then we've got Saka on the left, Aubameyang. Listen, they are treating Aubameyang like the ugly stepchild. They are just throwing him anywhere, which way. Let's go some goals, yeah? So Aubameyang on the right, and then they've got Lacazette up top.
So yeah, so not necessarily today's personnel, but even though Aubameyang on the right is a bit smelly. And
a bit smelly.
It's very smelly.
It's very smelly.
So like, I think last week against City they played William false 9.
He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know what he was like. I'm seeing. He did not know what he was meant to be doing out there.
Not only that, he's literally one of the most unproductive attackers.
I mean, you've seen it for the last.
I've seen it for the last how many years? I think the persistence to play Nketiah and Lacazette through the middle, instead of Aubameyang, who in all fairness has claps from the left and is brilliant from the left, brilliant player. But I just feel like when you've got like Saka, who I rate highly, he's really good.
Really, really good.
You've got options there, kind of similar to Lampard and Mount type thing. Like we've got options on the left, play Cho, play whatever. And Arsenal, you've got options on the left. You can play Saka. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like, why not him? I know Saka's a very versatile player, can play a number of positions. But I feel like, especially, whereas from what I've seen last season, he's actually pretty good in the final third. Like he's quite competent. He can score goals. He's got decent, very good technically, and he's a threat down the left hand side. I remember when he was playing wing back and he was supplying a few goals for Arsenal. So I don't know why he hasn't been tried down the left a couple more times and Aubameyang through the middle. Obviously Pepe hit and miss.
No. Miss. No hits. No hits, just misses.
So like, yeah, in that sense, it's just
Call me slipping once a day to what?
So maybe it could be to do with like to a degree Pepe like not Arteta not trusting him. So
he actually like he causes a colossal problem for them.
You know what I'm saying?
Who starts on the right for them? Obviously, when your options are Saka, Aubameyang +1, and the ones are Eddie Nketiah. Apologies, Stevie. Eddie Nketiah.
I've got no stocks in Nketiah.
Eddie Nketiah, Pepe, Nicolas Pepe, and Lacazette. What can you do with those three? Each of them are bad for varying reasons. Are clearly not comfortable at this level. So it's tough. It's tough. And Willian. So I forgot about him completely. Yeah, and Willian. So their third option is a player who really isn't good enough. But in Oba and Saka, you've got two good, very good players. We could call Aubameyang world class in certain circles. Yeah.
You see with Willian, yeah. I don't know if any of this would agree with this, but it's got to that point now, yeah, where like, okay, cool. We've watched him for sort of 7 seasons in the league for Chelsea. Seen that he's clearly not productive, like otherwise in terms of scoring goals, and whatever. I personally, I was crying out at Chelsea for him to just be tried in a bit deeper.
Centre mid.
Yeah, like a number 8 role, number 10 role, because obviously they didn't get Aouar, and William was a number 10 at Shakhtar, and he's got the attributes to operate in that middle third.
I can see it.
He's got ball. He's quite a good
Ceballos, Partey, and Willian.
Because Willian, you're not gonna get.
He works hard as well.
Yeah, and he works hard as well. You're not gonna get. I can't stress this enough. You're not going to get any productivity out of him as a wide forward. You're just not. You know
Agreed.
So you might as well. I don't know. I don't know why you signed him anyway. But now that you've got him, you might as well.
Big P's as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now that you've got him, I feel like he should be tried a bit deeper, especially if they didn't get Aouar as an option there. And then, I'm sorry, but you have to persist with what you have with Pepe and whoever out there. Potentially, I think Saka's good enough to play right as well. Sorry. Go on.
I was even going to say, when you said he should go deeper, I thought you meant wing back. I think, I'm being dead serious, yeah. I'm not even joking. I think they should go 3-5-2.
Okay, interesting. Why so?
Because I think it suits their personnel best.
So if they play 3-5-2, how would you see them lining up?
David Luiz, Gabriel, another centre back.
Rob Holding,
Kolasinac,
Socrates. Those are not necessarily stellar names, sir.
Holding Louise and what's his face, Gabriel can do a decent
Holding
job.
is not good. I promise you.
Yeah, their team is not good. And then I'd have Saka. Yeah. I'm just giving you names, bro. I'm just giving you names. I'd have Saka on the left, Willian on the right, and then Xhaka, Ceballos, Partey, and then I'd have Aubameyang, and then flip a coin between Lacazette and Nketiah each week to see who plays.
So you drop Kieran Tierney. What's he done to you?
He ain't done nothing wrong. He can get in there. It's a big squad, isn't it? So
Tierney's a good dude still.
yeah, but I'd have Saka.
But even that team you mentioned, what
bro, the team's crap. Look, I'm just trying to make something happen.
I was like, okay, cool. Like you're giving us formation. He's giving us formation, but the team you're telling, I'm not really seeing that. You're not giving me anything. But I said Aubameyang and Nketiah, like okay. Bad thing, boy. So we're talking, and it seems like the thing that kind of unites us all, and we're all in agreement, is the lack of quality he has. Does that afford him? Obviously, you said he would be afforded some grace period, but obviously we don't have an Arsenal fan on. But
not from me, by the way. From Arsenal fans.
not from Shemi. Does the lack of quality mean that we should perhaps give him a bit more patience? Obviously, Stevie, you're giving him props for setting up a solid defensive team, and it's obvious they wanted to get in 50 million, 60 million player. Do we need to give him a bit more time, a couple more windows to get a bit more quality in, and then we can really judge him? Or are we watching him like, yes, we acknowledge that your players are not good enough, but you can't win games 0-0. Like, you have to actually go out and try and win games, and it really doesn't seem like he's trying to do that.
A couple of Arsenal fans have been upset with the approach play in terms of taking a game to other teams.
Do you remember when they were posting those videos about them doing those
triangle thing to the
and then
I don't know. It's all gone to shit now. It's all gone to pot now. I like, someone bring it out. Automations. You can see.
Shut up, man. He might flog you. Shut up, man. They might gonna help. They kept showing us that same video
all the time. Against Fulham, against Liverpool. Yeah. Guys, it's
listen, Arteta
ball. Got a plan.
That was like 3 weeks ago.
I haven't seen that since. So like, I think a lot of fans are upset because they can't see how they are breaking teams down and how they are supposed to like take the game to teams. Maybe it's the lack of quality, but so with like the best managers, when they come in first couple of months, you can see what they want to do and how they want to play. I'll use Klopp as an example. Obviously, Klopp and Arteta. It's not the same kettle of fish, but when Klopp came in, you talk about the pressing, you talk about the use of the ball, you talk about how they want to pick up the spaces, you see what the attackers want to do. Then as time goes on with the better players, you get what you get now.
The thing about lack of quality, I don't know if I agree, because I feel like if we go through the team, I feel like there's more than enough there in terms of players that we rate. Okay. So Leno's a really good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Gabriel solid. Tini's really good. Partey's good. I like Ceballos. Saka's excellent. Aubameyang. How many players have I named? I've named quite a few players. You know what I'm saying? Is that any different from? So the Klopp season where you lot got to the Champions League, 17-18. I can remember you lot had a really good attack. There were still like areas, especially in defense, that you could fix. But your approach,
the blueprint was there.
The blueprint was there. Is that? Would you say which team's better? On paper, you could say that arguably both teams have similar amounts of quality personnel-wise.
And Arsenal have got a bad.
So I think. I don't really think it's a thing of quality. I think they've got quality, especially the fact that they've added Partey. Like, I don't think I think they've got quality there. They've got enough quality. I think it's an approach thing.
Call it how you call it.
I think so. Hey, Fat Frank will embarrass me next week, fam. But yeah, no, I think it's an approach thing. Personally, I don't think it's a quality thing. I think they've got the players there, man. They've got players there to. I'm not saying they've got players there to like win a league or whatever.
But they've got players there to be better than what we're seeing.
Yeah,
with the players you have, you shouldn't be struggling to break down Sheffield United. With the players you have, you shouldn't be struggling to get shots against a tame Man City. With the players you have, you shouldn't be conceding goals to a team that has Harvey Barnes as your false nine and Jamie Vardy's coming off the bench to bag the winner.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm saying.
Yikes.
I think their team is very light.
I mean, you tried to name a formation and you couldn't even.
Exactly. Like, let's be honest. Like they do have players with ability, but having players who are going to perform consistently over the course of the season, like you might even say like Saka is like probably top 3 players in their squad. And
Agreed since he's come in. Yeah.
You can't be expecting.
Guy was an
that
academy
much,
player 2 years ago.
of an academy player throughout the course of a season. So I just think if you look at their team now, they're probably going to finish about where their squad warrants, and they're a good size in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? So if they finish 8th, 7th, 6th, it's probably indicative of their squad quality, because I think other teams have got better squads than them. So I think, I think it's less about where they finish, but it's the manner that they finish it in. I think the results are one thing; it's how you get the result. So what Arsenal fans are really struggling with is, obviously they come from Wenger, isn't it? And for all his failures, Wenger's teams generally were entertaining to watch. So, and they've laughed at all our teams when we've had Mourinho. You guys have had Mourinho. You guys have had Brendan Rodgers. We've had LVG. We've had Mourinho. We've had David Moyes. They've laughed at our teams for the way we've set up, and they've kind of been like, "Oh, I'd hate to win the way you guys win. I'd rather lose playing good football, whatever the case may be." So this for them is a very difficult pill to swallow, and it's also showing that for a big percentage of them, enjoying your team play is a big thing. And I think for me too, don't you like to watch your team each week and enjoy watching your team play? Fam, they need to get over it, bro. Like, fam, Perez was like 15 years ago. Fam, it's a mad thing, fam. They haven't played good football in more than a decade. Like, you gotta start from scratch, and eventually you'll get there, or not. But you've got to hope.
So for you, for you, Stevie, you're keeping Arteta in there, yeah. And if he was your manager and you're an Arsenal fan, would you be happy with the job he's doing?
I'd be content.
So what's that out of 10 then?
I'd say 6.5.
Ew, that's not really good.
No, but okay. Given,
I said they should take it. I said, what would you give it out of 10? 6.5. That means you wouldn't take it.
Nah, it's acceptable. It's acceptable. I'm not gonna give him any more than he deserves, but give him time. I think he will do a solid job.
Okay, so you think he's the man?
I think he's built a good foundation.
Okay, that's fair enough. How about you, Ellis?
Boy. Yeah, I'll give him time, to be fair, man. I'll give him time. Like, they're stopping the rot, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not rocking up there and having, I remember, no, it wasn't Man United. There was one, no, sorry, I haven't, flash me. But yeah, I'll give him time.
I read the Athletic at 42%.
Nah, I was thinking of, the game Man United won, you won 3-1. There's a game you won 3-1 in it. And De Gea saves you, and I thought it was the other way around. Yeah. I thought they peppered you. But yeah, the Arsenal peppered them, innit?
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah. They peppered. But yeah, I'll give him 6.5 innit.
And how about you? Shemi? I went through the point match, which is like, never mind.
Bruv, never mind, man.
I can't wait to listen tomorrow.
Yeah,
absolutely melted.
I know he wanted to mention that Athletic are going to get.
Bro, that man are heating me here, fam. I'm heated.
Sorry.
Shemi, over to you.
Shemi, so what would you give Arteta out of 10? Oh, gosh. What would you give Arteta out of 10, sir?
Alright, cool, yeah. Yeah, I'm similar. I'm 6.5 as well. One thing I forgot to mention is that Arteta has showed quite a bit of potential, especially in the early. So like games, I reference games against City in the FA Cup, Liverpool, Community Shield.
Just games. My mind went bare blank.
I looked up.
I was thinking, what am I thinking about?
I just was looking at me.
My whole mind just went blank.
Don't look at me.
I was trying to think, there was a game where Man United absolutely peppered them. Then mine was, yeah, sorry, Shem.
Yeah, Arteta towards like back end of last season and beginning of this season when they played in like those big games, like so it's Liverpool and City in the cup final. He did show quite a bit of potential in terms of like building from the back, and they showed that there's like in terms of the way they build, there was something there.
So what's changed? Because
that's what I'm saying.
They pulled out some good results.
And
what I was gonna say is, I feel like it could be.
Keep it 100.
I don't know if it's like similar to like what with Frank Lampard, because I felt the same way as well. I felt, especially beginning of last season, that we were really, in terms of like the way we attack, our chance creation was up and like it was looking promising, and then come back to this season, it's almost like Frank's kind of regressed a little bit
with better quality players.
It doesn't make any sense. So, and what I said earlier in the podcast about being caught between two identities, I feel like to an extent, maybe Arteta is suffering a little bit from that as well, because like I said, back in the last season, I was seeing some great stuff. Especially, there was one goal they scored against City where they popped it from the back, literally from Leno straight to Aubameyang, and they scored. And
Yeah, that was a one with automation.
Yeah, I was like, right, like
Patterns of play.
Yeah. So it's there, innit? Arteta can do that type thing, but I think it's just deciding like what he wants to stick with in terms of how are you gonna play game after game? Like, are you gonna be this really expansive team that tries to create loads of chances and build from the back, or are you trying to be conservative? Which one is it?
He when he talks about it, he says, I'm only playing like this because I don't have the players. So, and we'll see, innit?
Yeah, well, the thing is, you don't have anything to like back it up, innit? He's never been at another club.
Yep.
So like, he hasn't got a portfolio of work where he can say, oh yeah, at such and such time. So manager's saying it for the vibe, fam. Yeah, don't worry. When I get a new thing, don't worry.
And also,
but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really.
I don't know if any of you have seen our play before. Have any of you? Because I haven't seen him.
I've seen him, but I wouldn't be like give your scouting report. I'd be like, allow it.
Yes, that's what the thing that they're falling back on type seems to be like. Oh, we didn't get our. So it's like there's no creative. Yeah, I think Ceballos is a really good player. I think yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't think Ceballos is, from what I'm hearing, doesn't seem like Ceballos is the same like type of player he is. But
Ceballos is middle third.
Yeah, middle third.
Kind of progresses play. From what I've seen, technical, decisive in the final third.
In the final third more.
But it was so interesting. I stumbled across a random thread, and people were like, the person who was talking was like, he was an Arsenal fan. He's like, I like watch our, and people are expecting this kind of creative player. He's not that. He's like more like a goal. Like he'll get you goals from midfield and he'll pop off shots. Like maybe a bit like Havertz, like a quality Dele Alli kind of. I don't know in it, but basically saying he ain't what you man think he is.
Coutinho type maybe.
Shootinho. Maybe. I don't know in it. I can't say, but that was you stumble across random gems on Twitter. Like
to be fair,
that was interesting.
To be fair though, a Shootinho wouldn't be the worst thing for them right now, because considering that obviously sometimes try to approach, they tend to be quite conservative, and then maybe when they do get that the odd chances that they get in the final third, and obviously when Pepe plays, he's not making runs like in behind or anything like that.
Just a poor player, man.
Aubameyang's going to do it from the left. Cool. Lacazette's not really going to give you much. So maybe a Coutinho who's going to clap off a shot. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe they need that X factor.
You know
in
what
the
I'm trying to say?
final
That
third.
X factor. Yeah. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, to be fair.
Yeah. Just glum around, really. Like, I'm kind of bored talking about them.
They deserve it, bruv. Every year, top 4, Wenger, Barcelona. Shut up,
But
man.
but again, they've been poor for a while now, man.
They deserve it, bruv.
Yeah, they've been poor for a while, so they deserve it.
I'm sorry, fam. I remember back in the day, they used to give me hell.
Oh,
just for
gosh.
finishing top 4.
When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.